Let me turn that on. Now you can hear me. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cuyahoga County. For those of you that's your first time here, I am Holly Woods. I'm the Director of HR over the benefits, compensation, and wellness areas. Very glad you can join us, especially since it's not raining today. So finally get to dry out a little bit from this week, but very glad you can join us. Going to take a minute and just introduce you to some of the staff in the benefits area and give you just kind of a brief overview of what we're here to talk about today. So I'll start with the introductions. As I mentioned, my name's Holly Woods. I will introduce you to my Senior Benefits Manager, Lisa Duliba. And I also have my benefits manager here, Joni Harbaugh. So we are your benefits team. And I also have with me Tracy Jaycox from Oswald. And then we have some representatives here from our procurement department who's going to speak on different matters, and I'll introduce them later on. So what we're going to talk about this morning, again, I'm going to give just a brief overview of the county, as you guys have probably started your review of the RFP, so I won't go into too much detail, but I want to reiterate just a few of the matters that you probably already have seen in your initial reviews. We'll turn it over to the procurement office, have Cheryl Kinzig here from procurement, and she's going to talk again just briefly about due dates, where responses can go, the format of your responses, and other matters. We have a representative here also from procurement to talk about our diversity goal and different matters as it relates to the diversity piece. And then we will have any questions that you need to field through our representative through Oswald, and then we can wrap it up with any questions. So just to kind of start with the overview, we do have this streaming live, and we are also recording it as well so that we can share it if you need to review it later on as well. So we'll send out that link as soon as we're done with today. Let me go ahead and also introduce our Chief Talent Officer who's here. He heads the whole Human Resources section, and Douglas Dykes is here to join us as well. All right, so as you guys have seen in the RFP, just to give you kind of an idea of what we have going on here at the county, we have approximately 8,000 employees. 4,500 of which are employed directly by the county executive, approximately 3,500 that are employed by our county court systems, and that's where we're talking about the prosecutor, board of commissions, and other areas. There are approximately 2,000 employees in the field of our health and human services, and 36 total bargaining units representing approximately 3,000 employees within Cuyahoga County. We do currently operate a self-funded medical and prescription drug plan with administrative plan offerings from Medical Mutual of Ohio, United Healthcare, and CVS Caremark. All programs are covered by a uniform stop-loss arrangement with Medical Mutual that covers the claims under a single umbrella policy. Well, a separate RFP is being issued for stop-loss coverage also, which will be effective January 1st of 2018. Respondents are required to provide reporting necessary to integrate with a third-party stop-loss. So let me just, again, kind of similar to, I think, any organization, talk about what we're looking for besides medical care coverage and prescription coverage. So two major areas that we want to focus on are, of course, controlling costs and getting a provider that's really going to help us control and manage our employees and their chronic conditions. So again, really getting someone in to be a partner and really looking at the programs we have, how we can control those costs, and how we can get a handle and help our employees with their chronic conditions. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Cheryl, and Cheryl will review some information with you as it pertains to procurement.
Good morning. My name is Cheryl Kinzig, and I'm an employee of the Cuyahoga County Office of Procurement and Diversity. This is the pre-proposal conference for the medical and prescription drug benefits for Cuyahoga County employees, RQ 40263. The purpose of this conference is to discuss various portions of the proposal and the work to be performed by you as prospective vendors and to provide you with some basic guidelines. The Office of Procurement and Diversity's role in the RFP is to help the Office of Human Resource distribute the RFP advertise, maintain the plan holder's record, review the contract when it comes in. Our administrative support staff holds your proposals in a sealed envelope until the bid closing date. We do not touch them as purchasing agents for the county until the actual closing time at 11 o'clock. Your proposals are due at 11 a.m. We go by the wall clock in the Office of Procurement and Diversity, and I will go into a little bit more detail on that in a few minutes. Specific questions regarding this proposal shall be in writing and sent to Tracy Jaycox. Her contact information is on the front cover of the RFP, so any communication should be sent directly to her. During the proposal period, there's also information in there on another section for you to email Hollywood. Hollywood would not respond directly to you, but she does need a copy of your communication, so be sure to email her as well. And no phone calls will be accepted by Holly regarding the prescription and drug benefits proposal responses. The anticipated contract period will begin January 1st of 2018 and run through December 31st of 2018. We do have renewable options for the years 2019 and 2020, and services beyond 1 year, though, are contingent upon availability of funding, and you will be required to submit paperwork annually that we request. There is a diversity goal established for this RFP, and Edwin Nunez will discuss the program requirements with you when I'm done. In order to be awarded a contract with Cuyahoga County, you must be registered with our Agency of Inspector General's office. So if you're not currently registered, please keep in mind that if you're awarded the contract, you will be given 14 days to get everything completed and submitted to the Office of Human Resource Contact. Cuyahoga County also has a Cuyahoga County By-Speed Vendor Registration Program, and what that does for you is you go into the Office of Procurement and Diversity's website, you log in as a By-Speed vendor, so whenever we send out any RFPs or addendums, if you are part of the By-Speed registration program, you'll automatically get an email from us notifying you that there's a bid solicitation out there or an addendum has been issued. The RFP is also available by calling 216-443-7200. And when you call in the number, our support staff will take down all your contact information, and they will add you to what we call our plan holders list. You must be an official plan holder in order to submit a proposal to be considered. So please make sure, if you have not gotten the RFP directly from the Office of Procurement and Diversity, either by email from us or when you call in, we will put you on the plan holders list, or you can pick up a copy today while you're here in the building. You would go to the second floor, room 2-200, and our support staff will give you a copy of the RFP and also will take down all your contact information. The plan holders list is an Excel spreadsheet, and it's available on the Office of Procurement and Diversity's website. And all the people that have registered are already on here, or if you were given to us by HR as a potential person to receive the RFP, you have already gotten it from us, so you do not need to call in and get a copy. I will put this on the side table, and you can look at it to see if you're on here. If you are on here and you do notice any of your information is incorrect, please update that with us, because we do use this spreadsheet to send out all addendums. Proposal responses are due July 17th at 11 a.m. by the wall clock in the Office of Procurement and Diversity. Late proposals will be stamped and returned unopened. So please keep in mind that we do go by the clock in OPD. Soon as it hits 11:01, that's it. You could be in the building, but we will not accept it. And lately, I don't know if it's because of, the Indians games or other activities in downtown, people are having difficulties parking. It is now tax season. People are coming in paying their taxes. So you could get held up downstairs and your proposal could be late, and we wouldn't want you to be late just because of, some incident downtown. So if you could possibly get your proposals in the day before, that'd be awesome.
And Cheryl, just to step in real quick, the due date is actually July 27th.
Oh, I didn't say July 27th?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Due date is July 27th opposed to July 17th.
Oh, okay. I do have the 27th written on here. Sorry about that. The Proposals can be mailed to the Office of Procurement and Diversity. If you do mail it in, please put the full name, Office of Procurement and Diversity, on your envelope, the full street address, 2079 East 9th Street, second floor, room 2-200. For some reason, UPS, Federal Express, when they bring packages to this building, if it does not say specifically Office of Procurement and Diversity, the room and the room number, they will pretend that they do not know we exist. So, or if you put purchasing. So please, if you're going to mail it in, please make sure you use the full Office of Procurement and Diversity and the full address. Proposals must be submitted in the format outlined in the proposal submission information section in the RFP. You are to submit 1 original, 6 copies, and 1 electronic copy, either by CD or flash drive. We ask that you double check your proposals so that you submit all the required forms. All required forms are outlined in the appendix in the RFP. The required forms are the non-collusion affidavit. It does require notarization. Almost always when we get proposals, there is at least one vendor that either forgets to sign it or either forgets to have it notarized. So please make sure that it's fully completed. The other form that causes a lot of problems is the mandatory vendor compliance form. It is a contract required document, but we do like to have it at the time of submission of your proposal because that'll save time later in getting things done. The mandatory vendor compliance form has 16 items and 16 boxes along the side. You must initial every single one of the items, all 16. You can put not applicable only for 11, 12, and 14. But if you put not applicable, you still need to initial those items. There also is an independent contractors workers acknowledgement form. Some of you are familiar with the prior form we were using. The prior form was a form like this, and you were allowed to just put NA across the form. That is no longer acceptable. For PERS requirements, you either have to fill out this form or this form. This form says that you are not a company defined as a business entity. So if you fill out this, you do not need to fill out this, but you must fill out one of them. And these are contract required documents. You will need to submit them later. There is also a cooperative purchasing vendor form, and what that means for you is that when you submit a proposal to Cuyahoga County and you provide us rates, if there's other communities out there that want to piggyback off the rates that you have given to the county, and if you say yes, then they can go directly to you after the county gives them a piece of paper, and they can go to you and enter into a contract on the same terms and conditions as the county. So make sure that before you send in your proposal that you sign one copy, and all of them are dated and notarized as required. Proposals will be considered non-responsive if you do not submit one proposal fully signed and inked and dated as required. For this RFP, if you're awarded the vendor the contract, you must submit a compiled financial statements, and you will be required to do that if you are notified. And it must be done by a certified public accountant. There's a section in the RFP for required contract documents. It outlines all the documents you will be required to submit if you are the awarded vendor. You must sign all these documents, return them. There are no exceptions, so when you are notified by HR if you're getting the award, please get these documents in as soon as possible. It makes things go a lot quicker. The required contract documents currently are signature authorization, a Form W-9, workers' compensation certificate, certificate of insurance, performance bond, principal owner, independent contractors, workers requirement. If a performance bond is required, or any of these other items, if it says if required, It'll be in the RFP, in the paragraph, it'll say not applicable if it's not required. I want to point out a major cause for delay with our contracts, which I know is very frustrating to vendors, is the certificate of liability insurance. The county requires special language to be put in the description of operations section, and the certificate holder must be Cuyahoga County at its current location. The RFP outlines all the insurance requirements for this RFP, and when you get your insurance certificate from your insurance provider, please take a look at it and make sure that you have all the limits and liability requirements that are listed in the RFP. A number of times we ask for professional liability insurance and it's not on the certificate. Sometimes it says professional liability, sometimes it says errors and omissions. So if you're not sure, just please check with your insurance provider to make sure that you have all the requirements that are needed. A good idea, which has been working really well, I've been telling the providers that are awarded the contract, please give a copy of the insurance section directly to your insurance provider and say, this is what I need, so that they can make sure that you have all the requirements. Discussions today are for clarification purposes only and are not changes to the request for proposal unless a formal addendum is issued. So again, if you're a plan holder of record, you will get a copy of the addendum automatically. The websites that I have discussed are listed in the public notice. And if you have any questions regarding the forms, I put my business card on the side table. You can give me a call. Thank you. I will turn this over to Edwin Nunez to discuss the procurement and diversity requirements. Thank you.
Awfully quiet morning. I have my tennis shoes in case I have to run out of here. No, I was scheduled for someone else, so I apologize last minute, but we're here. Do you guys have the copy of the bid manuals? Okay, there's a section, Bidders Manuals, Diversity Program. My name is Edwin Nunez, and I work for the OPD, the Diversity Division. I don't know if you're familiar with the Diversity Division, but it's an attempt and effort for the county to assist small businesses into getting contracts with the county through prime contractors. Therefore, there's a goal set for prime contractors to meet. So there's a percentage that should be allocated for small businesses. And the small businesses have to be certified with the county. As an SBE, in this case, it's a 1% goal. And it's for SB, so they have to be SB certified. There are other certifications, which is MBE, WBE, CCBB, blah, 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 if we go on. But in this case, what we're looking for is the SB, Small Business Enterprises. So make sure that you look at this section of the bidder's manual and read through it thoroughly. The way the process goes is once you turn in all your paperwork, there's four forms here that are called DIV, Diversity 1, Diversity 2, and Diversity 3. When we receive the paperwork, we'll go through those forms and see if you're responsive or non-responsive. So please do fill that out. If he's required a signature, if he requires an affidavit, make sure that it's filled out properly. If not, then it'll be submitted. Our recommendation will be non-responsive. It's a small part of the contract, but at the end, Tracy, how are you? We've nice meeting you. We just went through some contract, and at the end, it really takes a lot of not only the prime contractor, subcontractor, but also the office if the process is not put in place from the beginning. So make sure that you take a look at the form. There's a good faith effort. Most people ask about a good faith effort, and they look at a good faith effort as a way to get away from meeting the goals, and it's not. It's just giving you a chance that you look at the list of companies that are certified with the county to the website. You call these people and see if they're available, they're not available. Sometimes they're not, but we have run into situations when we actually go to your good faith effort form, you put the number, you call them. Turns out that there was never a call, there was never an email when we asked for proof. And when there are different prime contractors, they'll say that one company is not available, but another prime contractor actually found this company available. So the more of you are, the more chances are there to find out that something is not right, something is not true. So please make sure that you look at this form. You see it towards the end, there's actually some samples of how they are to be filled out. Please take your time, look at that. All the forms have samples. There's a DIV1, which is the information from the prime contractor. The form DIV2 is pretty much you're saying that which is the subcontractor you selected and what's the percentage that you assigned to them. They'll sign it saying, yes, they contacted me and this is what we agreed on. They all have to be signed. If they're not signed, there's non-responsive. That's pretty much in the ballpark. This is all that we are looking for right now, especially for this contract, just the SB participation. All the information is on the bidder's manual. Just take a look at it. I also have my card there. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call at any time. And after the contract's awarded, then we go through other steps, whether you're going to enter the information on a software, it's called B2G, and that'll make it easier for the prime contractors, subcontractors to actually confirm payments. Because our job is compliance, and compliance is to make sure that the subcontractor is getting paid for what they were contracted. And if there's any changes on subcontractors, it should be approved by the department, by the director of the Office of Procurement and Diversity. So make sure that if you make any changes on your it's not that you cannot, but if you go through the right channels and the right process, it'll make it easier on everyone. Because the subcontractors, they do have the right to say, I was taken out of the contract, nobody ever told me anything about it, I was replaced with somebody else. And those are the things that there's a budget for the department I work for, and that budget is making sure that I get paid to do that job, specific job, and follow through and make sure that everybody's in compliance. That's pretty much a ballpark. If there's any question with Cheryl, if you have anything else to, okay? All right, thanks.
So at this point, we'll open it up to any questions. I will ask that if you have a question, please approach the mic to ask your question so those that are viewing it live can hear your question as well.
Hi there. I'm Andrea Kinnear from Medical Mutual. I'm the account executive. I had a couple questions regarding if it was possible to get a certificate of coverage for all the plans that are being quoted on as opposed to just the SBCs. I actually have two more after that.
Sure. Is there? Okay.
We will gather that information and get it out to everybody on the plan holders list by the end of business today.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question we have is regarding the wellness program. We were reading through the RFP and realized that you want some connectivity between the program that you use. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce, how do you pronounce it?
Viveri.
Viveri, okay, that's what I thought. But we were curious to know what kind of connectivity are we looking for? Are we looking for reporting between the two or a collaboration to do health screenings? Just a little more detail on that would be good.
Sure. So I think it's a little bit of everything that you mentioned.
Okay.
So yes, as you mentioned, we do have a wellness partner through Viveri. They do provide us currently with a wellness portal, and all the activities and things that our employees engage in are tracked through that wellness portal. So of course, with the benefits and wellness going hand in hand, we want to have a working relationship where, yes, there's reporting, but it's also looking at, all of the initiatives that we have at the county, how the medical partners can partner with us and the wellness partner to truly have a fully encompassing wellness program. So, things that we've done currently, anything from having all the vendors in to come in and give lunch and learns or presentations to information that can be sent to employees' homes. And again, just kind of bridging that gap to truly make it a holistic wellness program that the medical providers are also involved in and following the mission of where we're going.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both.
Any other questions?
I'm Kevin Duncan from Anthem. I just had a couple quick questions. One clarification, I know in the past a lot of times we've had an interrogatory section of the RFP. I didn't see that, but I saw some questions throughout the body of the RFP, which is fine, but I just wanted to confirm that there wasn't something that was due for that.
There's no formal questionnaire. We're just asking folks to respond with their best options as it relates to the problem statements throughout the RFP.
Okay, excellent. And then regarding pharmacy, just assuming that, it may continue to be carved out, what kind of reports would have to go back and forth? Anything about the file feeds? I mean, is there commingling with pharmacy? Is there any other kind of feed that we might want to, just be aware of?
There will be feed requirements to a third-party data warehouse analytics, and there is accumulators required within the plans, so back to the medical carriers as well.
Hey, I'm Colleen George from United Healthcare. Our RFP team had one question regarding the confidential information that was required, such as like the repricing and things like that. Should that be included on the CD only or also in the binders?
It should be both. It should be included in both.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Cheryl?
Sorry.
Anything confidential that you submit in paper, please put it in a sealed envelope with your RFP, but in a separate envelope. So what that does is our support staff, when they make a copy and they save it to our shared drive, they do put confidential in the title because we don't want that information released to anyone that we shouldn't. So please do not keep it in your full packet of your RFP. Put it in a separate envelope.
Anybody else? Okay, well, that closes out our pre-bid conference. Thank you all for joining us and have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend. Thank you.